So, I'm going live on YouTube just a minute first because the light is really, really, really bright, but it is what it is. And I think the YouTube lighting is actually going to be a little bit better. I'm sorry, not the YouTube, the Facebook lighting. So we're going to go live on Facebook now. And got a kitty. Hi, everyone. We're going live in the Kellie kitchen. Thanks for joining me. We are getting close to Cinco de Mayo, so I know we're a couple weeks away, but I figured I'd get in the spirit and make some enchiladas. They are keto enchiladas. And also we are going to make my very favorite, which I've already made this so many times, my very, very, very best ever guacamole. And I finally got the recipe up on the website. So the keto guacamole, or the famous guacamole from the Kellie kitchen, is live on the website, thekellykitchen.com. And we're gonna make some keto enchiladas tonight. And we're also gonna make kind of a fun thing. We're gonna make some orange creamsicle bars that don't have any orange in them. Actually, they only have a little orange zest in them, but they are turning out to be an absolute favorite. That recipe is not on the website yet, but hopefully tomorrow. Hi, Julie. Hi, everybody. Tell me where you're from and say hi and tell me how you're doing. It's starting to warm up here in Southern California. And I'm getting in the spirit of Cinco de Mayo, even though it's not Cinco de Mayo yet, but we're gonna get started. So over on my pan here, actually, do I have this situated right? Yeah, you guys can see that. So I have got a nonstick pan going here over medium heat, and I am just going to, Amber, I have amazing energy because I had a cup of coffee about a half an hour ago. No, I'm kidding. I just was born this way. Lots of energy. But don't worry, I get lots of sleep, and I have my downtime too. So I have got a pound of ground beef, and I'm just going to get that going in my skillet right now. And while that is cooking, I'm going to turn that baby up. I had it on low to kind of get it started. I'm going to use my favorite tool. Everyone tells me that this is a Pampered Chef tool. I have no idea. I just got it on Amazon. It's my little smasher. Smash-ola. Hi, Atsuko. How are you? Good to see you. Oh, and there's Bruce from Iowa. Hi. And Tamara from Kansas. Well, I'm here in Southern California in Santa Monica. And we're in that weird weather time because it's, you know, you could layer up in the day and wear sweaters and stuff, and then you're peeling and everything off and wearing shorts and a tank top because you're sweating so much. So enchiladas, how do we do that via keto? I have a recipe on my website. It is one of my #1 recipes. It went viral a couple of maybe 18 months or 2 years ago, and it is for homemade keto tortillas. They're super easy, couple ingredients, coconut flour and egg whites. And you just let them sit in the pan and then you flip them. The problem with the homemade tortillas is that they take 5 to 7 minutes each. Hi, Jean. The homemade tortillas, they're great for this recipe, but they take 5 to 7 minutes each. And if you only have one pan, it's going to take you an hour to just make the tortillas. So Mission Tortillas has a low-carb version. Not my first choice, not my favorite, but I know a lot of people have been able to rely on those. So if that's all you can find, then so be it. I was able to find a new brand of tortillas. They're mostly egg whites, and they're by this company called Egg Life. Egg Life. And I got mine at Smart and Final. They also sell them at Aldi and Sprouts and one other store that I don't really have here. I think you can get them online as well, but they come in a couple different flavors. This is just the plain egg white. They also come in Southwest style. You see that? Southwest style. They come in everything but the bagel. They come in sour cream and onion. I don't really care what flavor you use because the flavor of our enchilada sauce and the beef and the onions and the cheese, that's going to kind of take over the flavor of our egg white tortillas. Eaten just like this, see, this is the tortilla. It really does kind of have an eggy flavor to it or an eggy texture to it. You could use it as a taco. You could use it for a number of different things, but they come 6 to a bag. They're not that expensive. I think this was like $3, maybe $3.99. So anyways, this is what we're going to use tonight in our keto enchiladas. So I've got a pound of ground beef going here. I also am going to add about a half a cup of yellow onion. Maybe that's about a cup. If you want to reduce the carbs, you're going to want to cut the onions way down. And it won't affect the flavor. I just like the onions because they do have a nice flavor, but they also have great texture in the enchiladas when you roll them all together. So we're going to let the ground beef brown just a little bit more. We're going to let the onions soften up a little bit. And, oops, I just dropped something. Shh, don't tell anybody. If you're wondering about my apron, this is one of my newest creations. I created a whole line of aprons, and I have blueberries and lemons and strawberries and avocados, and they are available in my Etsy shop. And so if you go to etsy.com and just search The Kellie Kitchen, you're going to find all of my aprons. And I just decided that I needed to spruce up my apron collection a little bit better. I was getting a little sparse. It was getting a little sparse. So anyways, okay, our ground beef is nicely browning. I'm going to add a tablespoon of taco seasoning. I make my own taco seasoning. The recipe is on my website, and I just make a huge batch of it, but you can buy from Trader Joe's, from Primal Kitchen, from, even if all you can find is the McCormick's, that's fine too. It's, you know, it's got a little bit of a thickener in it, and I think it's got some maltodextrin in it, but if that's all you have, that's fine. I've got 1 tablespoon of my taco seasoning. Oh, look who joined us. My favorite Canadian, well, my second favorite Canadian, Vic. How are you? Vic is a cooking machine and always gives me great inspiration. You're only my second favorite Canadian because my boyfriend is Canadian too. So I hope you don't mind. You're taking second fiddle to my guy. Okay, so we've got our taco seasoning doing its thing. And now we're going to add just 4 tablespoons of cream cheese. And we're going to let the cream cheese melt into our mixture. And it's going to become nice and it's going to help hold the meat together. And I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. And we will mix and mash. So some exciting news. I'm starting to formulate some plans to potentially give the Kellie Kitchen a little upgrade. So in the coming weeks and months, I'll have more information, but I might be coming from guest kitchens in the coming weeks, because if this kitchen is going to get zhuzhed up a little bit, I will need a place to do my cooking and my cooking shows. So I will keep you posted on all of that. I'm supposed to go away to Pennsylvania this weekend to visit my daughter, so let's pray that all goes well there and there's no hiccups in the travel plans. Okay, Can you see that my ground beef is nice and creamy, but it has a beautiful, nice, thick texture. I've got my oven going at 350 degrees. I probably could have chopped those onions a little bit smaller, but it is what it is. I got a brand new favorite dish. I got this at a vintage store, and I love it because it just brings me into my sunny yellowy self. I also am using a can of enchilada sauce. You can make your own enchilada sauce. It's, you know, this is definitely like not authentic Mexican food, but it's, you know, it's great for me to be able to get dinner on the table in like less than half an hour. I could make this entire meal. Okay, so the enchilada sauce that I use is just a can of enchilada sauce. This is a half of the huge can, and I just saved it in this. So it's 15 ounces, and we're just going to take a little splash, maybe a few tablespoons, and we're going to let we're going to coat the bottom of our enchilada dish. And this, I do this so that my tortillas don't stick to my stick to the bottom of the pan. Okay, so my meat has been turned off, and the next thing we're going to do is I just have regular shredded cheese. For enchiladas, I tend to like sharp cheddar cheese. I just think it gives a really great flavor. We're going to use 2 cups total of shredded cheddar cheese. We're going to use 1 cup for the inside of the tortillas and as we roll them, and then we're going to use 1 cup for the top. You can use less if you want. Just use what works for you. So I get this is kind of a little bit of an art form, and sometimes you can do it on a plate. I just do it in the palm of my hand. I take a nice size spoon, and you're going to want to evenly divide your mixture. I've got 8 tortillas that I need to fill. So I have just a little bit of taco meat and about a tablespoon or 2 of cheddar cheese. And then I'm going to gently roll my tortilla and place it snugly in my pan. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures on social media, but my cat Pete, who's not here with us in this room because he would be trying to eat everything, he loves to watch me make this meal and hope to gosh that I drop something on the floor, and I posted a picture of him watching me make my beef enchiladas last week, and it was quite the hit on social media. Quite the character that guy is. So this takes it's a little bit of an art form. As you roll these, you're going to roll it and you're going to press it seam side down, and you're going to snugly hold them together to the right side here. And I like to, they're not perfectly round. I like to use the short side so that they fit into our pan here and don't overlap. And I better work fast. I got 6 more of these to go. Okay, some cheese. So let me tell you a little bit about these orange creamsicles. A couple of weeks ago, I had a little thing where I really wanted to make gummy bears. I really wanted to make keto gummy bears. And I found this brand of Jello, gel is what they call it. And the gummy bears didn't really work with this special brand of gel that I got, because it doesn't have any gelatin in it. It has carrageenan in it as the gel. So I ended up making the gummy worms with sugar-free Jello brand Jello. And we all know that sugar-free Jello brand Jello has a bunch of junk in it. It's got dyes, it's got artificial sweeteners, it's got sucralose. So I really wasn't very high on it. It's super dirty keto. But we made the gummy bears with that Jell-O, and I had all this left over of this other brand, and I just figured I was gonna just, you know, take one for the team and have a bunch of this product off to the right because they didn't work for the gummy bears. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I kind of got interested in actually just making the rest of the box just as it comes. And it turns out that it is the most delicious Jell-O, and they call it a gel dessert. And I started getting really like creative with it, and I made popsicles with it, and they are so delightful and creamy, and I think they might be Peter's favorite new dessert, and good thing because I have about 20 of them in my freezer, and we're going to make 6 more tonight. So that recipe is not on the website, but it will be probably tomorrow because I already have the pictures done and I've already written the recipes. So that one is coming, and the reason I'm telling you this is because now that I know that this brand, it's called Simply Delish. You can get it online. You can get it at Whole Foods. It's not expensive. It's like $2 or $3 in the United States. And it makes really, really good 5-calorie, 1 gram net carb keto gel dessert. And I'm going to show you a couple things that I made in the fridge. But it's, I was about to throw all of it away or give it all away. And lucky us, I was getting creative. And we now have 2 or 3 new desserts on the horizon coming your way. Okay, so there's 6. I've got 2 more in here. This is that other flavor. I think I told you each package comes with 6. Actually, I have 4 in here. I'm going to use 2 of these. I wanted to make a note. Okay, so when they come out of the package, they're really stuck together. This is 4 tortillas. You very gently pull them apart because they do tend to stick. And if you gently pull them apart, they won't tear. And there we go. So I've got to do 2 more of these, and then we will finish up our enchiladas and get them into the oven. Oh, do you see? I got too aggressive and I tore that one off. That's okay. I'll use that for a BLT tomorrow or something. I'll use it for something. I have not tried, if anybody asks, I have not tried to fry these, and I have not tried to, I have frozen them so that I, you know, like I'll make enchiladas and I'll freeze this and then I'll have it as leftovers. So I do know that that works, and also for reheating. They reheat really easily in the microwave, and you just gently reheat them because you don't want them to become chewy. But we have them, we'll have these tonight, and then we'll have leftovers tomorrow night. So this is a great family meal and make-ahead meal. Okay. I always find that if I put lots of yummy, yummy, yummy cheese inside, uh-oh, I tore that one. See, I'm trying to get all fancy with you guys. That's okay. We're going to cover it all with cheese and enchilada sauce. So I'm not worried about it. And it all, you know, you could potentially not even have to roll these. You could layer this like lasagna and just use these tortillas just like lasagna. I'm sorry, just like noodles, and just layer them in between, so you don't have to get all fancy with the rolling of the tortillas. But if you want to, you can. And see how I got it all nicely and snugly in there. Okay, so don't look at the one that I tore, but there are my beef enchiladas. Okay, I'm going to take the rest of my 15-ounce jar, and I'm going to just generously pour the rest completely over to saturate my keto tortillas. All right, there we go. And then we're going to put the rest of the cheese right on top. after this is done, you can serve it with sour cream. You can serve it with chopped onions, cilantro, however you want. And you're just going to spread out your enchiladas. Spread out the cheese over your enchiladas. Now this is going to go in a 350 oven for 15 minutes, and then we'll check it. Everything in here is already cooked, so it's not like you have to keep it in here for half an hour. If you want, you can, but we're going to put it in for 15 minutes, and then we will check it. And we might like do a little broil on top just to get the top nice and brown. Let's make some orange creamsicles, and then we'll do our guacamole. We went to Mexican food last night. It's my favorite Mexican place. And God bless Peter's heart, because he's not a huge fan of Mexican food. But I was a little sad that the guacamole wasn't so great, which is another reason why we're making my guacamole tonight, because I like it better. Don't tell. Sorry. All right. 20 years ago, I went to a Mexican restaurant in, of all places, somewhere in Connecticut. Not a place where it's known for Mexican food. But I had the best guacamole there, and I asked the guy, he was making it tableside, and I was like, how do you make what is that stuff that you're putting in the bowl? And it was like this liquid. And he said, it's jalapeno vinegar. Well, I've never even heard of or seen jalapeno vinegar. I think he was fooling with me. So I was doing a little testing at home, and I just used regular, clear, white vinegar. And you just use a splash of this. And there's something about the tang of the vinegar with the creaminess of the avocado and then you've got just a little bit of a kick from the jalapenos that makes this the best guacamole. So on the website, I said, I put the recipe up. So if you're new here, all of my recipes, or most of my recipes, are on my website, thekellykitchen.com, and that's Kelly with an IE. I did not add the macros for this recipe. And it's not because I don't know what I'm putting in. It's because I don't know how many servings this is. Because when I take a chip of guacamole, it's, a little bit bigger. So Erin said that she uses white vinegar and the pickling juice from the jalapenos. That's a brilliant idea. I mean, I have jarred jalapenos. I was actually thinking I was just going to put a couple jalapenos in a jar with some vinegar and make my own vinegar, jalapeno vinegar. But anyways, I forgot what I was saying. This is what I was saying. I don't know how much of a serving you want to call your guacamole. So I am doing 2.5 to 3 avocados. I've got 1 large tomato. I've got 1/2 cup of cilantro. I've got 1/2 of a very large jalapeno, and I've got about 1/3 cup of chopped red onion. And every avocado is going to be a little bit different size. Every tomato is going to be a little bit different size. And I just decided, instead of holding out the recipe because I didn't know the macronutrients and all the calculations, that I would just put it up there and you guys can decide how much of all of these things you want to add to your guacamole. So there is my red onion. There is my jalapeno. Take the seeds out if you don't want them super hot. I like lots of cilantro. I also like my guacamole really chunky. Some people like their guacamole extra smooth. So I'm going to show you what I do to this tomato. So this is the half that I've already done. I de-seed and take all of the liquid out of the tomato because I don't want the tomato juices to make my guacamole too sloppy. I want the liquid to just come from my vinegar, and I'm going to take all of the seeds out of my tomato. Okay, so here is my half of my tomato. See, there's the stem up here. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to do a little V cut right at the top. So see, I did a little V cut right there. And then I'm just going to pull that center core out, and I'm going to scoop. I'm going to scoop the, you can see, it's kind of gross for me to be shy. I hope I don't drop it on the floor. But I just scoop all of the liquid out and all of the seeds out of out of my tomato. So then it's just left with the shell, and that's the meat of the tomato, and that's what I want to have in my guacamole. I don't want to have I don't mind seeds and other things, but for the guacamole, I want it to be chunky and less soupy. I guess I hope that makes sense. Okay, so there is my tomato. Now, I salt my guacamole after I make it because, and that's another thing you got to worry about when you are making the guacamole, is that you might eat it with pork rinds, you might eat it with cauliflower, you might eat it with celery, you might eat it just with a spoon. Everybody has a different flavor palette. I tend to like a little bit saltier, but my pork rinds that I eat it with tend to be pretty salty. So I think I said this, I like my guacamole pretty chunky. If you want your guacamole super smooth, then mash up the avocado before you put all the other stuff in this. Look at how beautiful this big chunky bowl is. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to continue mashing that in just a second, but I'm going to do 1 to 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. I'm going to do 2 because those are pretty big avocados. And then if I want to add more, I can. I recently took a little trip down to the famous Alvera Street in downtown Los Angeles and had some authentic Mexican food there. And again, I think my guacamole is a little bit better. Don't tell them I said that. But I did get some fun serving platters that are going to be great for a little Mexican fiesta that we're going to have here pretty soon. Okay, I'm going to taste the for seasoning, and then I'll add a little bit of salt and pepper. Yep. Where's my salt? So I'm going to do, I'll just use my fingers here, but this is about 1/2 teaspoon. And I do a couple cracks of fresh pepper. Yum, yum, yum. And after this is all mixed together, the jalapeno and the onion juice will also meld together and give this a great flavor. Okay, let me taste one more time. Tiny bit more salt. There we go. I got this super cute, this fun little guacamole dish. Isn't that fun? Let's talk a little bit about leftover guacamole. Unfortunately, I don't have anything good to say about it. I try my best to not have any leftover guacamole because it's never good, never as good the second day. But I also don't want to throw it away. So, a couple tricks. I cover the top of my guacamole with I squeeze a lemon right on top, and then I take a piece of plastic wrap and I squish it right down on top of the guacamole, and that seals out all of the air. And oh, I'm gonna sneeze. As the pepper got to me. We're gonna have one of these with some pork rinds. If you don't like pork rinds, you can use vegetables. You can use a spoon. You can put it right over a salad. That's all I need. I'll wrap one of these tortillas with my, oh my God, the best guacamole ever. Recipes on the website, The Kellie Kitchen. Okay, so we're gonna put that off to the side. We're gonna make my orange creamsicles. And lucky you, I already have some made in the freezer, so you get to see what they look like when they come out. These are so easy, but there is a little trick with gelatin and gel. So I think we talked about this last time. You have to bloom it first. You have to bloom the gelatin or the gel. Again, this is made with carrageenan, which is a seaweed product. So it's sort of a vegan gel because gelatin is from collagen, from beef bones, from animal bones. So this is a vegan version. This is the brand, Simply Delish. It's keto friendly, made with erythritol, stevia, and the orange coloring comes from beta carotene and beets. So you get they come in lime, they come in black cherry. In my large container here, I have 2 tablespoons of water. The key is that you want to get your gel mixture, your powder mixture, a little bit wet in cold water, in cold liquids. And I'm also going to add in 1 cup of cold, heavy cream. I'm going to stir that all in there. Just like that, I think it actually probably tastes delicious. But you need the hot water to activate the gel. And so you've got this mixed completely in there. Make sure we get all the flavor down there at the bottom. And this is what it looks like. It's got a really pretty orange hue to this. I also add, forgot, let me grab it. We don't eat oranges. Almost never do we eat oranges. And I have a beautiful orange tree in the back of my car. Sorry, back of my car. The back of my yard, I have the most beautiful orange. I lost my zester. Oh, here's my zester. So to get more of an orange flavor, we're going to add some orange zest. And you should probably add about a tablespoon. If you don't have an orange, you don't have to. I also don't want you to have to waste an orange because if you're super keto and you're not going to want to eat the actual orange, maybe you have someone in your life that can actually eat the orange, but it actually adds a nice little texture and adds a nice little punch of orange flavor. Let me just show you. So I got about a tablespoon of orange zest. I'm going to mix that in there. Now, the last step, which I didn't have going, I got to go do this right now because I want the water to be super hot. Where's my thing? Oh, there it is. And I'm going to just use hot water from my container here, from my dispenser. I'm going to get, can you even hear me? I'm getting 1 1/3 cup of hot water. You can boil your water. I do that too, but it tends to gel so fast that then I can't pour it into my popsicle mold. So I like to do it with just this really hot water from my dispenser. So we're gonna just We pour it in the hot water. We're going to completely mix. And this is just like when you're making Jell-O. You pour in the hot water so it dissolves all of the crystals and all of the flavors and all of the gel mixture. I have got a fabulous popsicle mold. These are like $10 on Amazon. I think I have a link. I'm sure I have links on my website. But I love these because they're super easy to get the actual popsicle out of the mold after they're frozen. This makes typically around 6. Oh, there's our enchiladas. Okay, wait. Please hold on that. Let's go check our enchiladas. Oh, looking good. Okay, I'm gonna push bake. I'm gonna do this for, let's do it for 3 more minutes, and then we'll broil them to get the cheese nice and bubbly on top. Okay, so we've got our orange creamsicle. This usually makes about 6 or 7, depending on how big you make them. I like to fill them right to the top. If you do not have an ice cream mold, don't fret. I many times just use Dixie cups, and I actually sometimes prefer Dixie cups with my popsicles. I've got chocolate popsicles, fudgesicles, I've got strawberry and cream, I've got lemon raspberry. I've got lots of popsicles in my arsenal, and I like to use, I'm just giving this another little stir, making sure I get all the little bits of the orange zest on the bottom there. I like to use the, the Dixie cups, because they store really easily in the freezer, and there's no cleanup. You just toss the little paper cup. Okay, we got 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. We got 7 popsicles, and here's the one thing why I do love to have one of these molds, because you have this lid that will hold the sticks. If you don't have this, then you can put a piece of tin foil over and put a little knife prick through the tin foil, and it will hold all of the things. If you use Dixie cups, let them freeze for about 20 minutes and then stick the popsicle stick into your popsicle. Okay, how fun is that? I also like to keep it on a tray like this, because these silicone molds tend to be really flimsy. And so if I were to pick that up, it would be kind of sloshing all over the place. So I'm going to put this into my freezer. And this is so exciting. I have some fun stuff to show you. Okay, this is a completely finished version. This is my strawberry creamsicle. And I actually added strawberries to the mold. And these come out super easy, but look at how fun. Aren't those cute? So this is made with the same thing, but with a strawberry version. It comes in raspberry. You could add raspberries. It comes in lime. It comes in black cherry. And so those are my strawberry creamsicles. But I also have a whole bag. They're Peter's favorite, so I made a lot of them. So there is our orange creamsicle. And yes, Peter, you're going to have one right after dinner. They're so creamy. They're not like ice cream. But they're not like a popsicle. They're not as icy. And actually my mom was eating one yesterday, and she was just remarking about how nice and creamy the texture is. So there, my friends, is our orange. You can see that. That is my orange creamsicle bar. Yay! Okay. Enchiladas are almost done. I'm going to turn them broil for 1 to 2 minutes. We'll get the top nice and bubbly and crisp. We've got our guacamole. We've got our orange creamsicles for dessert. And I'm so happy that everybody came to see me. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. And if I don't answer you tonight, I will get back to you and I will say hi. I love seeing everybody and checking in. If you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for things that you would like to make, please let me know. I'm always trying new things. I do have one thing I want to show you. This is a brand new recipe. This is going to hit the airwaves in a couple of days. It is a ham and Swiss stromboli. And I made this with fathead dough. And it's absolutely brunch worthy and beautiful and delicious. Okie dokie, guys. So the stromboli I made with fathead dough, and it is, I think this is a great grab and go breakfast. Okay, so this is about 10 slices. This will last for, if you made it just for you and one other person in the house, you could take a slice of this and take it on the go. It has several slices of ham and Swiss and Dijon mustard in there. So that recipe is coming very, very soon. And next week, we're going to make my strawberry cheese Danish. Can't wait to show you that. So my friends, there, I'm not going to, I hope I don't drop this. Oh, geez. There is our keto beef enchiladas. If you wanted to switch out the red sauce for a green sauce and just wrap these in chicken, wrap chicken with a white cheddar and with a verde sauce, you can use these tortillas to do that as well. What else? 2 more things. My friend Rosette, you guys have heard me talk about Rosette before. Rosette has the best cake mixes. Just this weekend, I made her no sugar cookies, and she's come out with a brand new product. They are keto rainbow sprinkles. This is just a sample bag, so you can't see. I'm going to pour them out in my hand so you guys can see what they look like. But I made some cookies. They're on my Instagram. You can see them. But these cute little rainbow sprinkles for some funfetti cookies, or if you're doing a birthday cake, just another option for, kids don't have to have all of the sugar, and they can have something like this where it's less sugar and still kind of good for them. Okay, that's all I have to show you guys tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Like it and share it and do all those silly things. I've got a little bit of a cleanup to do, but we have a fun dinner tonight. If you are interested in the aprons, you can go to my Etsy shop. It's The Kellie Kitchen on Etsy, ETSY. I don't know if it ships worldwide, but if you don't live in this country and you want one of my aprons, get together with me and I'll figure out how to get you one. And thanks again for watching. I will see you next week. Bye. Bye.